theme for this morning's presentation is, let us prepare with perseverance. The reading, Hebrews chapter 12, we read from verse 1 through to verse 3. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and the sin that clings so closely, and let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith, who for the sake of the joy that was set before him endured the cross, disregarding his shame, and has taken a seat at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such hostility against himself from sinners, so that you may not grow weary or lose heart. The word of the Lord. We thank God for his reading. Amen. It is wonderful to be with you as we journey with Jesus to the cross, as we are invited to accompany him on his steadfast walk to the cross, as he persevered in spite of the obstacles that were in his way. He looked steadfast, nothing could keep him back as he journeyed unto his destiny. I want us to think for a while, my dear friends, even as we accompany Jesus to the cross, what will we consider to be our greatest accomplishment, our greatest feat? Was it easy or was it difficult? Were there challenges? Were there times when you felt like giving up? Did you ever feel discouraged when the going got tough? Were you tempted to give up? You found it just so difficult. Sometimes the goals we set ourselves are so very difficult. It seems as though they are unattainable. The goal may be worthy, but to reach there is so many obstacles in our way. So think of Jesus as he headed towards the cross for that ultimate showdown with destiny, which was to overcome death, defeat sin, and be raised victoriously from the grave. What did he have to do to get there? Was it easy or difficult? What challenges he had to face? What he had to overcome? What difficulties he had to overcome? And what temptations he had to withstand? The thing about it, my dear friends, we are looking at the acclamations that were showered upon him by his Father, even at his baptism, as he was coming out of the water and he prayed. The heavens opened up and the Spirit of God descended upon him like a dove. And a voice came from heaven saying, "This is my Son, the beloved, in whom I am well pleased." So he was acclaimed from on high. When he went up to the Mount of Transfiguration with his 3 disciples, and he was speaking with Elijah, that great prophet, and he was speaking with Moses, and they were talking about his day in Jerusalem, his glory. And the disciples, Peter wanted to stay up there. Say, "Master, it's so good to be here on this mountaintop. Why don't we make 3 tabernacles?" Peter wanted to stay. But yet, a voice came again in the clouds. "This is my Son, the beloved. Listen to him." My dear friends, temptations were always around Jesus. What about the temptations in the desert, in the wilderness? To abuse his power. If he wanted to gain glory, to abuse his power, why not turn these stones into bread? You have the power. You are the Son of Man. You are the Son of God. Why not use your power? He also had to withstand the headiness of adulation. Boy, if you really want persons to come into your kingdom, why not, as I take you up on top the steeple in the temple, throw yourself off. It might have been about a 500-foot drop. Jesus doesn't say, boy, I hear you, but I'm not about adulation. I'm about doing my Father's business. I shall not tempt him. I will not tempt faith. My dear friends, he had to also withstand the suggestion of compromising his stance. Listen, only we are here. Nobody will see. Bow down before me, worship me. And Jesus had to say, no, you shall worship the Lord your God, only and him alone shall you serve. So he had to withstand the temptation because he knew what was his goal: to fulfill the mission of his Father. But then, my dear friends, listen to this. Even on that day, the third day, when they were having a very special time, a very sacred time of fellowship, right in the middle of the meal, Jesus made a very serious disclosure. One of you will betray me, and eventually all of you will desert me. A high point in the time of fellowship with his disciples, and Jesus is talking about someone will betray him. And imagine Peter motioning to the beloved disciple who was reclining next to Jesus, ask him who it is. And Jesus said, it's the same one who's dipping in the sauce dish with me. That is the one. Go and do what you have to do quickly, he told the person whom he was referring to. Go and do what you have to do. Go and do what you are supposed to do. It is your destiny to betray me, to be a traitor. And yet, my dear friends, Jesus, knowing the impending destiny, the foreboding nature of the cross, he did not shirk. He did not say, listen, I want an easier time. Although there was a time in the Garden of Gethsemane, he said, Father, with you all things are possible. If it is all possible, allow this bitter cup to pass from me. Nevertheless, not what I want, but what you want. Not my will, but your will be done. One of the most precise and concise commentaries of what Jesus had to go through and what those who came after him had to go through is recorded for us in Hebrews chapter 12, 1-3. And here the commentary, because this commentary about the life of Jesus in a capsule, this commentary comes right after the faith chapter 11, Hebrews chapter 11. It highlights the persons who would have been faithful unto the end. And they are regarded now as the cloud of witnesses, egging us on. So here, after chapter 11, hear what the writer to the Hebrews says. He says, now, therefore, since you are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that clings so closely to us, and let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith, who, for the sake of the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross, and disregarding its shame, He has taken a seat at the right hand of God, the throne of God. My dear friends, think of what Jesus had to go through. And think of those persons who had been following Jesus had to go through over the centuries. Those persons who held on to the end. They looked unto Jesus, who we regard as the author and the pioneer, perfecter of our faith. When we look behind the cross, we look at the cross. But look beyond the cross, there is hope. So let us, my dear friends, even as we journey with Christ, we might be tempted to be distracted. We might be tempted to look to the left or to the right, because looking to the left or to the right, it seems as though the path is easier. Why must we go through all this? Is there an easier way? Is there a different way? I think I hear Philip asking that question, or Thomas asking that question in John chapter 14. I think I hear him asking, Lord, you say you're going. We do not know where you're going. How can we know the way? And Jesus had to say, I am the way. I am the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Friends, we want to follow Jesus until the end. Yes, there is suffering. There is desertion by friends. There is betrayal by friends and family. My dear friends, there is Jesus. And once you are with Jesus, everything will be well. So, don't be distracted. Don't lose heart. Persevere with Christ unto the end. Because even at what we call the end is just a beginning. So we are being challenged this today. Consider him who endured such hostility against himself from sinners, so that you may not grow weary or lose heart. There was the spitting. There was the mocked robe of royalty, that purple robe. There was the crown of thorns. There was the cross. There was the nails in his hands and feet. There was the mocking scorn. Yeah, who are you? If you are the Son of God, why don't you come down? Save yourself so that we will believe that you are who you say you are. My dear friends, even from the cross, Jesus looked down and said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what to do. Are you growing weary? Are you growing tired? Are you feeling discouraged? Look unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. He has taken us too far for us to want to give him down. May God bless us. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. At the cross.